Hi everyone, welcome back to Inside Jungle. Because this channel is called Inside Jungle for a reason, it has to live up to its name. So once in a while, under this pretext, I come home with another plant friend. Although I like buying houseplants from old ladies selling them by the market, trying to help them in this way, once in a while I buy more expensive plants from a garden store. And if you remember, 4 weeks ago, we visited a new hardware store in town with an impressive garden center and plant collection like I've never seen before in my city. Since then, guess what? We made 2 more trips there, and with one occasion, I came home with an impressive Begonia Rex Salsa, which I'm going to talk to you about in this video. Before we proceed, do not forget to subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so. In this way, you help me spread the word to other plant lovers out there, and you give me a sign that my sharing time is a time well invested. So I'm thanking you ahead for subscribing. Thanks a lot. Now let's look at this beautiful plant with a lush foliage. This is Begonia Rex Salsa, a semi-tropical perennial plant native to places high in humidity, like 50% high. Begonia rex are kept as houseplants for its stunning leaves and not for flowers like other houseplant types. This particular variety has silvery green leaves that are variegated with shades of burgundy red and darker green. But I think I should probably warn you. This is not considered an easy house plant because it only thrives in high humidity. My humidifier, a very small one, works almost daily in the proximity of this plant so I can keep it alive. But I will get back to this topic in a short while. First, I would like to speak about the care parameters for Rex begonias. Besides the high humidity, these plants prefer relatively cool temperatures, between 16 to 21 degrees Celsius or 60 to 70 Fahrenheit. In temperate climates, it is harder to keep these temperatures indoors during the winter months, as we often have heaters or radiators connected to a city grid, therefore harder to adjust in temperatures if not impossible. Our apartment is heated with hot water running through radiators, and although we are lucky enough to stay indoors in a t-shirt and shorts during colder months, sometimes it's too hot even for us. Imagine how our houseplants feel. For most of the houseplants, you can apply the rule of thumb. If you are comfortable with the indoor temperature, so are your plants. But in case of Begonia rexes, they even might be more comfortable in a cooler temperature than you are normally used to. Light is another issue you have to consider. Begonia rex loves indirect light but can tolerate milder morning light because it's not so strong. The soil moisture is another thing to consider. The roots are prone to rotting, but the plant is prone to wilting if the soil is not moist. So keeping the perfect balance can be tricky, I can tell you that. Now, these scary things being said, let me give you some good news. I think you would like to hear them, right? Although the conditions in your home might not be perfect, your Begonia rex will not die from one day to another. It's going to talk to you first, and if you listen to it and adjust its conditions, it just might thrive for a very long time in your house. For example, I did not water it for a few days. Oops, fearful of root rot, so the plant looked quite miserable with dropping leaves. Half an hour after watering, it was the same beautiful, healthy looking plant that I knew. And actually, to be very honest with you, it happened to me twice. Not to water it in time, and twice it came back as strong and lush as before. Are contributing to this. High temperatures and less humidity in the last 4 to 5 days in the room where my Begonia Rex Salsa is. The pot is currently on a windowsill just above a radiator, and although I place spots of water on top of the radiator, sometimes I forget to refill the evaporated water or to turn off the humidifier. So less humidity for my plant. But I'm working on my habits and routine for the sake of my plants. The temperature is a factor that I can't control, unfortunately. All that I can do is to move the plant further away from the radiator, but this means very little light in return. I'm still working on a solution here, but you can observe how beautiful this plant still is after almost a month in our home. So I guess I'm doing something well after all. Another piece of good news is that it's a very prolific plant. It constantly gives new leaves, and this is how it can maintain its bushy appearance. Some of the older leaves might dry, some of them they can become crispy because of lack of the necessary parameters in the house, but still it gives new and new tiny leaves from the below. I'm going to try to offer you another angle as well, so you can see what I'm talking about. And I want you to observe the army of tiny leaves currently growing and aiming for the light. You can also see how close to the pot the humidifier is placed. The light is not quite favorable, but I'm trying to adjust it so you can see the mist coming out. It's not a very strong mist, so the water particles falling on the leaves are not affecting them in any way, which is why I love this tiny small humidifier. Did I say tiny small? Okay, one of those two adjectives. So this is my experience with Begonia Rex Salsa. My advice to you is not to get scared by all the blogs and videos out there saying that it's not an easy plant. Indeed, it's not an easy plant, but just get yourself a humidifier, place it close to your plant. It can be even as small as mine, but please enjoy the beauty of this plant. It truly looks impressive in any living room and it's gonna light up your mood. Trust me on this one. Thank you so much for being with me in this plant journey. Please hit the subscribe bell and like buttons and catch me on Facebook, Pinterest or Instagram. Links below. See you next time.